Hello children. Today we will read the story The Little Match Girl written by Hans Christian Andersen. Before we start the story, we will read about the setting of the story. The story is set on New Year's Eve. It's cold and snowy outside with the wind making it clouder. The sky is dark with clouds filling it up. This sets a gloomy, fearful atmosphere, hinting that something bad is likely to happen. The author has created such an effective setting that one can easily identify the huge divide or gap between the rich and the poor during the Victorian era. The little girl was bareheaded and with naked feet, and not enough warm clothes to protect herself from the cold. The girl was out on the road selling matches when people were indulging in all sorts of festivities and enjoyment. Nobody looked at her, and she could not earn a single penny. How miserable she would have felt on seeing every household brightly lighted with candles when it was cold and dark outside. She was extremely hungry and could smell various dishes being enjoyed by the rich and wealthy. Thus, the author has depicted the disparity between those who had a warm place to live in more than enough to eat and enjoy worldly pleasures, and those who could not afford the basic necessities of life like food, clothing, and shelter. Now we will read the story, and you see your book and go line by line. It was bitterly cold, snow was falling, and darkness was gathering, for it was the last evening of the old year. It was New Year's Eve. So the story is set on the last day of the year, and this is the evening of the New Year. In the cold and gloom, a poor little girl walked bareheaded and barefoot through the streets. A poor little girl was walking in the street. She had no cap on her head and no shoes on her foot. She had been wearing slippers, it is true, when she left home, but what good were they? So when she left home, she was wearing slippers, but they were of no use. They had been her mother's, so you can imagine how big they were. The little girl had lost them as she ran across the street to escape from two carriages that were being driven terribly fast. The slippers were of no use for her as they belonged to her mother and they were too big for her feet. And moreover, when the little girl was going through the road, there were two carriages which came with more speed towards her, and to escape from the carriages she ran. One slipper could not be found, and a boy had run off with the other, saying that it would come in very handy as a cradle some day when he had children of his own. So when she ran to save herself from the carriages, one slipper was lost, she could not find it, and the other slipper was taken by a boy, and the boy said that he will keep it safe as it would be used as a cradle when he will have his own children. So the little girl walked about the streets on her naked feet, which were red and blue with the cold. So now the girl is walking with a barefoot, and her feet became red and blue due to extreme cold. In her old apron, she carried a great many matches, and she had a packet of them in her hand as well. She had carried a number of matchboxes in an old apron, and she was holding a packet of match in her hand. Nobody had bought any from her, and no one had given her a single penny all day. The whole day she walked in the street, but nobody purchased a single packet from her, and she could not earn a single penny all day. She crept along, shivering and hungry, the picture of misery, poor little thing. And the whole day she walked, and she was hungry, she was shivering in cold, trembling in cold, and this is said as a picture of misery. She is in such a miserable condition that cannot be explained. The snowflakes fell on her long golden hair, which curled so prettily about her neck, but she did not think of her appearance now. And the girl was very beautiful, and the snowflakes fell on her long golden hair, which curled so prettily about her neck. But the girl is in such a miserable condition that she could not think about her beautiful appearance. Lights were shining in every window, and there was a glorious smell of roast goods in the street, for this was New Year's Eve, and she could not think of anything else. Lights were shining in every window, means light was gleaming from every window in the street, and there was a glorious smell, a beautiful smell of roast goods in the street, because it was the New Year's Eve and all were in a festive mood. They were celebrating and enjoying good food, and the little girl could not think of anything else as she was feeling very hungry. She huddled down in a heap in a corner formed by two houses, one of which projected further out into the street than the other. But though she tucked her little legs up under her, she felt colder and colder. The little girl huddled down, means sat just like a bundle, huddled down in a heap in a corner formed by two houses, one of which projected further out into the street. Means there were two houses, they joined together, and one house has come a little forward in the street than the other. But though she tucked her little legs up under her, she felt colder and colder. She tucked, means she put inside her little legs, but she felt colder and colder. She did not dare to go home, for she had sold no matches and earned not a single penny. She did not dare, she had no courage to go home, because she had not sold a single matchbox and did not earn a single penny. Her father would be sure to beat her, and she is afraid of her cruel father. The father had sent her to sell the matchboxes, as she could not sell. She did not dare, she had not enough courage to return back home, as her father would beat her. Besides, it was so cold at home, for they had nothing but the roof above them, and the wind whistled through that, even though the largest cracks were stuffed with straw and rags. One reason she will get scolding and beating from her father. The other reason is that it was too cold at home, for they had nothing but the roof above them. Means her house had no walls, only a roof, and the wind whistled through that, even though the largest cracks were stopped with straw and rags, and there were cracks on the roof or holes on the roof, and those roofs were filled with straw and rags. Still, the wind blew through that roof. Therefore, the house is also not warm. Therefore, she decided not to return home. Her thin hands were almost numb with cold. Her thin hands, her little hands became numb or senseless due to extreme cold. If only she dared pull just one small match from the pocket, strike it on the wall, and warm her fingers. She sat between the projection of two walls, and she tucked in her legs, and only thing she dared to do was to strike a match on the wall to get some warmth from it. She pulled one out, scratch. How it spluttered and burnt. So with a wonderful light, the match burnt, giving light. It had a warm, bright flame like a tiny candle when she held her hand over it. But what a strange light! When she struck the first match, it produced a beautiful light, a beautiful flame like a small candle. Tiny candle means a small candle. When she held her hand over it, but that was a strange light. She held her hand over that light, and it was a strange light. It seemed to the little girl as if she was sitting in front of a great iron stove with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. And she imagined, as she was feeling much colder, she imagined that there is a big iron stove before her with polished brass knobs and brass ornaments. The fire burnt so beautifully and gave out such a lovely warmth. Oh, how wonderful that was! And the girl was in need of warmth as she was feeling very cold. And she imagined that an iron stove is in front of her, producing a bright, warm light. And she became very happy. Oh, how wonderful that was! The child had already stretched her feet to warm them too. And in her imagination only, unconsciously, she stretched her legs, her feet, to warm her feet too. Then out went the flame. The flame went out. The fire is put out. The stove vanished, and there she sat with the burnt match in her hand. And as soon as the match was put out, the stove vanished, the stove disappeared. And there she sat with her burnt match in her hand. Only the real thing was a burnt match in her hand. The imagination disappeared. She struck another. It burnt clearly. Where the light fell upon the wall, the bricks became transparent like gauze. Then she struck another match, and it burnt clearly. And where the light fell on the wall, the bricks became transparent, that she can easily see on the other side of the wall, and it was like a thin gauze cloth. She could see right into the room where a shining white cloth was spread on the table. And when the wall became transparent like a gauze, she saw into the room, and there was a shining white cloth, tablecloth, spread on a table. It was covered with beautiful china, and in the center of it stood a roast goose stuffed with plums and apples, steaming deliciously. Then she saw that on the table there was, in the center of the table, there were china clay plates, and there in the middle of the table there was a roast goose, and it was stuffed with plums, apples, steaming deliciously. She imagined that the goose was stuffed or filled up with the beautiful plums and apples. These are the fruits. And it was steaming deliciously. A beautiful smell, a nice smell was coming of it. And that was even more wonderful. What was more wonderful was that the goose hopped down from the dish, waddled across the floor with a carving knife and fork in its back, waddled straight up to the poor child. Then out went the match, and nothing could be seen but the thick, cold wall. And that was even more wonderful. The most wonderful thing is that the goose hopped down, it jumped down from the dish, waddled across the floor, it walked across the floor with a carving knife and fork in its back. So there were carved, decorated knives and fork on the back of the goose, and the goose waddled straight up to the poor child. The goose walked towards the poor child. This is nothing, only the imagination of the child as she was feeling very hungry. And then out went the match. The match went out or put out, and nothing could be seen but the thick cold wall. So as soon as the match is put out, the imagination or the vision of the roasted goose vanished, disappeared, and only there is the real thick brick wall which was very cold. She struck another match, and suddenly she was sitting under the most beautiful Christmas tree. Then the little girl struck another match, and she found herself sitting under a beautiful decorated Christmas tree. It was much larger and much lovelier than the one she had seen last year through the glass doors of the rich merchant's house. As she was a poor girl, she could not enjoy these things, and last year she had seen through the window in the rich merchant's house such a beautiful Christmas tree. 1,000 candles lit up the green branches, and gaily colored balls like those in the shop windows looked down upon her. She imagined that 1,000 candles lit up in the green branches of the Christmas tree, and the beautiful colored balls like those in the shop windows looked down upon her. She had seen beautiful colored balls in the shops, and she imagined that kind of balls were hanging from the Christmas tree, and they were looking down upon her. The little girl reached forward with both hands, then out went the match. She was so excited that she moved forward, stretching both her hands to hold them up, but the match went out. The many candles on the Christmas tree rose higher and higher through the air, and she saw that they had now turned into bright stars. The many candles on the Christmas tree rose higher and higher, means they went up into the sky through the air, and she saw they turned into or transformed into bright stars. One of them fell, streaking the sky with light. And when those stars were going high up and up, one of those stars fell to the earth. Streaking the sky with light means spreading the sky with a bright light. Now someone is dying, said the little girl, for her old grandmother, the only one who had ever been good to her, but who was now dead, had said, "Whenever a star falls, a soul goes up to God." The girl said that now someone died because her grandmother, who is no more in this world, she had told that whenever a star falls, a soul goes up to God. She struck another match on the wall. Once more there was light, and in the glow stood the old grandmother. Oh, so bright and shining, and looking so gentle, kind, and loving. The girl struck the fourth matchstick on the wall, and now she saw her old grandmother, and she is so bright and shining, and looking so gentle, kind, and loving towards her. "Granny," cried the little girl, "oh, take me with you. I know you will disappear when the match is burnt out. You will vanish like the warm stove, the lovely roast goose, and the great glorious Christmas tree. As soon as the vision of her grandmother appeared before her, she was very happy, and she said, Granny, take me with you. I know you will disappear when the match is burnt out. You will vanish like the warm stove, the lovely roast goose, and the great glorious Christmas tree. Beforehand, when she struck the match, she had seen the visions of iron stove, the roasted goose, and the Christmas tree. And as soon as the match went out or burnt out, they disappeared. And she knew very well that as soon as the match will burnt out, the vision of her grandmother will also vanish. So she requested her to take with her and to stay with her for some long time. Then she quickly struck all the rest of the matches she had in the pocket, for she did so want to keep her grandmother with her. So the rest of the matches she scratched one by one, just to keep her the vision of her grandmother before her, that she could not disappear like other visions. The matches flared up with such a blaze that it was brighter than broad daylight. And her old grandmother had never seemed so beautiful, so stately before. So she struck one after another matchstick, and that flare or that fire was so bright that the grandmother looked more beautiful and more gorgeous than before. She took the little girl in her arms. The grandmother took the little girl in her arms, in her hands, and flew with her high up, oh so high, towards glory and joy. The grandmother took the little girl high up in the sky towards the land of glory and joy, that is the heaven. Now they knew neither cold nor hunger nor fear, for they were both with God. The grandmother was already dead, and now the dead grandmother took the little girl with her to that world of glory and joy, and that land is free from hunger, fear, and from cold. There is no misery, no suffering, and now they are both safe in the hands of God. But in the cold dawn, in the corner formed by the two houses, sat the little girl with rosy cheeks and smiling lips, dead, frozen to death on the last evening of the old year. So in the corner formed by the two houses, the girl was sitting, and her rosy cheeks and with the rosy cheeks and smiling lips, she was found dead, and she was frozen to death due to extreme cold. She had frozen, and she is dead. And it was the last evening of the old year. The dawn of the new year rose on the huddled figure of the girl, and in the next morning, that is the New Year morning, and the day dawned with the frozen figure of the girl. She was still holding the matches, and half a packet had been burnt, and she was still holding the matchbox in her hand, and half of the packet was already burnt. She was evidently trying to warm herself, people said. People gave the view that perhaps she was trying to warm herself by lighting these matchsticks. But no one knew what beautiful visions she had seen, and in what a blaze of glory she had entered with her dear old grandmother into the heavenly joy and gladness of a new year. But no one knew what beautiful visions she had seen. Throughout her life, she lived in poverty and misery. She could not enjoy her life, but before the end of her life, Through these imaginations, she experienced the warmth of the iron stove, and she enjoyed the roasted goods and also the beautiful Christmas tree. Moreover, she also met her dead grandmother who came to earth to take her to heaven. So these were the beautiful visions what she had seen through those matchsticks, and the people could not know her happiness. In what a blaze of glory she had entered with her dear old grandmother into the heavenly joy and gladness of a new year. When people are enjoying their new year on earth, she also entered into a heavenly world or heavenly place where she enjoyed her new year with her grandmother, where there was no hunger, no fear, and no misery for her, and death released her from this misery. Thus, the story has a very sad ending that the child died due to extreme cold, hunger, and as well as it has a happy ending that she is released from these sorrows and sufferings and went to another world with her grandmother, where she will enjoy her life, where there will be no poverty, no hunger, no misery for her.